fashion over bitch. Ay, she want fashion. Ay, she a fashion bitch. Ay.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Sophie, and as you can see from the title, I will be doing my everyday soft glam makeup routine. And I've already moisturized my face, I've already done my brows, and for my primer I use the e.l.f. Hydro Grip Primer, and for my lips I use the Laneige lip mask. So I'm going to go ahead and take off this under eye mask. And let's get started with the look. For my foundation, I'll be using the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and I'm in the shade 380. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that on the back of my hand. I will be using the Real Techniques brush, and this is a buffing brush, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply that onto my face. I'm just gonna go ahead and buff and kind of pat the foundation into my skin, and then also going down my neck as well. I'm also going to apply my foundation on my lids and making sure that I don't get my eyebrows. Definitely don't want to mess them up. Now that my foundation is nice and blended, I'm going to go in with my NYX Bear With Me concealer, and this is in the shade Deep, and this concealer is a medium to full coverage. It definitely gives a nice coverage once you build it up, and I'm going to use my Real Techniques setting brush, and this is the 402 brush. And I'm gonna go ahead and apply my concealer under my eyes and above my lip, on the bridge of my nose, and my forehead and my chin. For the rest of this video, I will be using all Real Technique brushes except for my eyeshadow. Using patting motions, as you can see, just so I don't want to smear the product on, so it doesn't smudge and just ruin what we did with our foundation. My Real Technique sponge, I'm gonna go ahead and blend out the edges of my concealer so it's nice and seamless. Now that my concealer is blended, I'm going to go in with my other concealer, and this is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and this is the shade Rich Sand. I'm going to go ahead and highlight with this concealer in the same places that we had placed the NYX concealer. I'm gonna go ahead and let this sit and dry, and then we're gonna go ahead and blend it out. Using the same setting brush that we used, I'm gonna go ahead and set that concealer. Now that my concealer is blended, I'm going to go ahead and apply my blush, and I'll be going in with my e.l.f. Putty Blush, and this is in the shade Caribbean. I'm going to use my Real Techniques blush brush and deposit that on the high points of my face and deposit the color just like so. And I'm kind of going in with back and forth motions and then sweeping it in circular motions to blend out the color. You can kind of go crazy with the blush, so blending is the best part, just so we don't have harsh lines. Looks really seamless in the end. Go ahead and use my Milk makeup contour stick, and this is in the shade Sizzle. I'm gonna go ahead and just apply this right onto my face. Go right under, in place of where we contour. I feel like for me, it's hard to find a contour shade that doesn't blend in with my foundation. Finding this product is a lifesaver. It does create a nice definition to my makeup look. I'm gonna use my brush to push the contour upwards and kind of go in a C motion to carve my cheekbones. I really like this contour stick because it really blends in really easily, and the consistency of this is really creamy. Blending it is really no problem, and I like that. Also use the same brush from my foundation just to remove any lines that are not blended in for my contour. My setting powder, I'll be using the Laura Mercier to set my concealer, and I'll be using my setting brush again, and I'm not gonna go ahead and bake just yet. I'm just gonna use this brush to lightly set the concealer. So patting motions for this. When we bake, we'll add a thicker layer of powder. This also prevents creasing. Not baking right away, but setting your concealer with the brush, I find that it gives a nice seamless finish. And I'm gonna go ahead and reverse contour with my powder under where we placed our contour, and I'll actually just let this sit under here and then just lightly press on our chin and everywhere else again. To bake, I will be using my Huda Beauty powder, and this is in the shade Kunafa, and I absolutely love this powder. I'm gonna go ahead and set this with the Real Techniques Velvet Sponge, and I'm gonna go ahead and just get some product out. Now that we are nice and baked, I'm gonna go ahead and set my foundation, and the contour powder I'll be using is the Black Radiance, and I'll be using the darkest shade in the palette and to set my contour. Use my foundation brush again to diffuse that contour powder. For my bronzer, I'm gonna use the Juvia's Place Bronzing Duo Palette, and I'll be using the bottom shade and kind of mixing the top two to do our bronzer, and using my tapered Real Techniques brush and bronze my face. For my blush, I'm gonna use the Sephora collection, and this is in the shade Flirted Up, and it's such a pretty pink color. And I'm gonna use the same brush that we use for our cream blush, and I'm gonna deposit that in a patting motion and go over where we applied our cream blush. I absolutely love blush, especially when it's pink. I think pink goes really great on deeper skin tones, and this color just really does it with especially with Sephora collection as well. Sephora does really well with their blushes, so if you haven't tried a Sephora blush, I would definitely try it out. I'm gonna go ahead and blend with the brush that we use for our bronzer to just mute the shade just a bit so it's nice and blended. Shadow, I'll be going in with the NYX Off Tropic palette, and clearly I hit pan on this brown shade here, so I'm going to be mixing this brown shade and this orange shade, and go ahead with our tapered eyeshadow brush and mix these two. This now and apply it all over my lid. Creates a nice brown smoky look, and it's very easy as well. The same palette, I'm gonna go ahead and with the lighter shade and put that in the middle of my eyelid. My lashes just a little bit because they are out of place. Is my eyeshadow look. I'm gonna also line my eyelid on to over top of the eyelashes and kind of create a eyeliner effect, and also smudge that liner out. I'm gonna go ahead and dust off my powder that we use to bake, and to dust that off, I'm gonna use my Ben Nye Luxury powder. This powder is in the shade Dark Cocoa, and I'm just gonna go ahead and whatever's left over on the top, I'm gonna use that to buff the baking powder. Got to contour my nose, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the Juvia's Place palette and contour my nose. To mount all these powders in, I'm gonna go ahead and use my e.l.f. mattifying setting spray. I'm gonna cover my lids and spray my face. Now onto my lip combo, which is my favorite part. I'm going to use my NYX pencil, and this is in the shade Black Brown. I'm going to go ahead and line my lips. Lipstick, I will be using MILANI lipstick, and this is in the shade I Am Pretty number 5, and I'm going to go ahead in the center. I'm going to define my lips with the pencil again. And with any clear lip gloss from the drugstore, I'm going to go ahead with this rose lip oil and apply that on my lip. Not just done yet. I'm going to go ahead and top it with the e.l.f. lip plumping gloss, and this is in the shade Peach Bellini, and I'm going to go ahead in the middle. This concludes the makeup look, you guys. I absolutely love it, and I hope you guys did too. Go ahead and like the video, share it, as well as comment if you'd like, and also follow me on my social media pages in the description box. And yeah, guys, let me give you a B-roll. Again, that is it for the video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.